Welcome to Time Well Spent, a podcast from LaborSync, the only real-time, multilingual timesheet software your business will ever need. So today we're going to tackle a word that I think for a lot of people makes their eyes just glaze over, the M word, metrics. And I know you hear that and you immediately think of corporate jargon, pie charts, talk about synergy.
Right.
But if you run a field service business, this is different. This is really about figuring out why you're working 60, 70 hours a week and maybe not seeing the profits you expect.
That's exactly it. For a service business, metrics aren't some abstract concept. They're like the vital signs of your operation. They tell you what's really going on under the hood.
Okay, but here's the pushback I hear all the time, especially from the veterans, right?
Yeah.
Gut instinct. They say, I've done this for 20 years, I have a sixth sense, I know my crew.
And they're not wrong. Gut instinct is, it's powerful. It's incredibly valuable.
But it has limits.
It has major limits. Your gut tells you you're busy today. It doesn't tell you that your average travel time slowly crept up by 15 minutes over the last 3 months, which is quietly killing your margins on all the small jobs. Instinct feels, but data diagnoses.
There's also that other element, the fear factor, the big brother concern. You start tracking every minute, every mile.
Yeah.
Doesn't that just create a toxic culture?
It can. I mean, it absolutely can if you frame it that way, if it's about catching people.
Gotcha.
Exactly. But the best companies we see, they flip that script completely. It's not about catching the slackers, it's about protecting the high performers. The data shows when a good tech gets stuck in traffic or, is dealing with a difficult client.
So it changes the conversation.
It totally changes the conversation. It goes from why were you slow to, okay, what obstacle got in your way and how do we remove it for next time?
All right, so let's say we're on board. We want to avoid what they call paralysis by analysis, right? You can drown in this stuff. If you had to strip it down, what are the few numbers that really move the needle?
The LaborSync blog article we looked at really nails this. It breaks it down into 4 key areas, and they sort of build on each other.
Okay.
First, and this is the base of the pyramid, is travel time versus on-site time.
Windshield time.
Exactly. The windshield time ratio. If you're paying a tech for an 8-hour day, but 3 of those hours are spent driving, well, your effective labor cost just went through the roof.
And that's usually a routing issue, right? Guys zigzagging all over town.
9 times out of 10, it's a simple scheduling and routing problem.
So what's next after that?
Technician utilization. So what percentage of their paid time is actually generating revenue?
Which sounds similar, but I guess it's a little different.
It's different because it catches the other stuff. The extra trips to the supply house, the time spent waiting for a client to show up, or just sitting in the truck doing paperwork, all that non-billable time adds up.
Okay, which then leads to efficiency when they're actually on the job.
Precisely. The first time fix rate. For any service business, a callback is an absolute margin killer.
You're doing the job for free at that point.
You are. You're eating the labor, the fuel, everything. A low fix rate isn't usually a lazy tech problem. It's an inventory problem or maybe a training problem.
And the final one, which the blog article mentions, this feels like the big one. Job costing.
This is the moment of truth. This is where you combine all of it, labor, materials, overhead, to see what the actual profit is on every single job.
And this is where you might find out that your biggest, quote-unquote, best client is actually costing you money.
It's the classic trap. A client gives you a ton of work so you feel busy and successful, but job costing shows they require so much admin time or cause so many callbacks that you're barely breaking even or even losing.
So practically speaking, how does a business owner start this? I mean, most of us don't have a data analyst on the payroll.
You don't boil the ocean, you pick one thing. Just one pain point. If you feel like your fuel bill is insane, just track travel time. Do it for 2 weeks.
Just to get a baseline.
Get a baseline. Look for a pattern. Then you make one small change, like clustering your morning appointments in one neighborhood. And then you check the numbers again.
Measure, adjust, and then verify the change worked.
It's the scientific method, but for the traits.
The biggest hurdle there seems to be just capturing the data itself. If you're relying on paper timesheets, you're getting bad info. Arrived at 8.0 is never actually 8.0.
It's 8.15 if you're lucky. And that's where the tool really matters. This is why things like LaborSync were created. It automates the data, captures the GPS clock-ins, the job codes. It just happens in the background. It removes the guesswork and, honestly, the arguments.
It really shifts the whole mindset from guessing to knowing.
It does. And, the most surprising outcome of all this is usually a reduction in stress.
How so?
Because stress comes from the unknown, from wondering if you're actually making money on a big job. When you can see the numbers, you stop second-guessing every decision. You're not just hoping for a good year. You're actually engineering one.
This episode of Time Well Spent was brought to you by LaborSync. Track employee hours and job site locations in real time from any device. Start your risk-free trial today at laborsync.com.